Hey, hello. This is my video for today's check-in, which is check-in number 14. So since the last check-in, I've spent some time finishing up chapter 17. So I finished up the last half of that chapter that was dealing with momentum and impulse, which, similar to the work and energy and then force and acceleration kinetics from chapter 16, it was an expansion of some of the things we'd seen earlier on in the semester, and we were expanding that to rigid bodies, where we had to deal with rotation and translation terms for that. And so that was interesting. I feel like that was one of the sections that made the most sense to me overall out of chapter 16 and 17. The momentum and impulse problems were just a little bit easier for me. But after I finished and submitted the homework for chapter 17, I went back to chapter 16 and 17 and started reviewing for the test that we had today. And so overall, I feel like that went pretty well. I was able to go through and do a lot of studying. I would say I spent probably 20 hours this week just really studying problems out of the book and the sample problems, and then some of the homework problems in your videos, just to get ready for the test. Overall, I feel like this material was pretty challenging. I felt very comfortable doing the problems in chapter 12 and 13 towards the beginning of the semester, and this, when we extended those concepts to rigid bodies, there was a lot more to think through to make sure I got the problem set up right. But I found that as long as I drew the correct diagrams with the kinetic diagrams and free body diagrams, that really helped me to get the equations that I needed to solve the problem correctly. And the other thing that really helped me study and prepare before the test was your videos. I found that your videos were really helpful, especially on the concepts that I found more challenging to understand. Being able to go through those again and kind of pause them and work through my notes was really helpful in preparing for that test. But overall, I feel like I felt pretty good about the exam that was today. The problems were fairly challenging, but I feel like I had a good grasp of the procedure on how to solve them, and was able to work through them in the allotted time. And so that was good. I felt like I was pretty prepared for that. But overall, I thought that these sections were pretty interesting, and they covered some important concepts. It was pretty cool to do the problems that had to deal with more of the applications, like one of the test problems that had the car in it. It was pretty cool to see how there's so many things around us in the world, whether it is gears or cars or basically any moving object has to deal with kinetics and kinematics. And so it was cool to see that even though these are difficult concepts, they're very applicable to a lot of the world around us. But it'll be cool to start into chapter 19 as well. I've briefly glanced through chapter 19 and kind of familiarized myself with it, but I haven't had an opportunity to do much more than that today because I just finished the exam on chapter 16 and 17. But I did read through the introduction in the chapter and then look through the module and get an idea of what the chapter was about. But it seems like a pretty interesting chapter, and so I'll look forward to going through that some more. But that's all for this check-in. Thanks for listening.